Guys, my name is Fields Alexander and I'm a friend of Camp Aransas.
And I'm Noelle Alexander.
This is my daughter Noelle. She's going to be my assistant chef today. We are really sorry you guys can't make it down to camp this summer, so we're bringing camp to you. And what we're going to do this morning is we're going to make biscuits. And we're going to show you how to make some super easy, super simple biscuits that I think will impress your friends and your mom and your dad and everybody else. But before we get started, we have two other helpers we want to introduce you to. Come here, Cheery. The first one is our yellow lab, who, if I can lift him up without killing myself, he's not much of a biscuit maker, but he's a big biscuit eater. Chewy, say hello to all the kids at Camp Aransas. Hi, he says. And then our other assistant that Noelle is bringing to you is our assistant Mia. She also is not the world's greatest biscuit maker.
No.
And she's not even the greatest biscuit eater,
No.
but she does like a nice cup of milk. All right,
does.
now, what have we done? Now, what are we gonna do next? Two things. First of all, Noelle and I are gonna wash our hands really good because obviously we just touched our pets and we're about to cook, and also because, as you know, there's a big pandemic going around, so everybody needs to wash their hands really well all the time. The other thing that's super important before you get started with this video is you gotta get your mom or your dad or some parent to help you. All right, so if you haven't done that yet, go get them while we take a break to wash our hands, because I want you to have a parent assisting you while we make the biscuits, especially because part of it's gonna involve a hot oven. So we're gonna take a break to wash our hands and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Our hands are washed, and hopefully your hands are washed too, and you have a mom or a dad or some grown-up to help you. So what I want to do next is show you what we need to make these biscuits. And here are all the things you're going to need your mom or dad to help you get. Number one is we're going to need what's called self-rising flour. And there's a bunch of different companies that make it. We've got one right here that's made by HEB, but anyway, it has to be self-rising. No other kind of flour will work. That's one. Now there's only one other ingredient for these biscuits, believe it or not, and the other ingredient is whipping cream. And that's actually, turn it around, that's the Spanish language. Turn the other side, and you'll see it just says heavy whipping cream. Believe it or not, guys, these are the only two ingredients you need. So what else do you need to make these special Camp Aransas biscuits? You need some sort of a mixing bowl to mix them in, all right? You need a rolling pin of some type, and this is the one we're gonna use. I like to use a fork for mixing them up with. That's really all you need. And you need something to cut them with in a minute, and we've got these handy dandy, go ahead Noelle, you can pick those up. We've got these handy dandy biscuit cutters that work really well to make different sizes, but if your parents don't have those, you can use any kind of a cup or glass with a thin edge. That'll work just as well. You're gonna want a 1 cup measuring cup, whatever it's called, and some kind of a flat surface to work on. So what we've got is this guy right here, but any kind of a board will work. All right, now what we wanna do next is we want to make the ingredients, put the ingredients together. So I've got my mixing bowl. My assistant chef Noelle and I are going to measure out 2 cups of flour, self-rising flour, and 1 cup of whipping cream. So let's get rolling. Get our cup measuring in and get 2 scoops that are level. And she's gonna pour them right into this. Perfect. 1 more. Perfect. One other thing I forgot to mention that you'll want to do before you get started is you're gonna want your oven preheated to bake at 450 degrees. And again, Noelle, who should be the one doing that?
Your parent.
That's exactly right. We don't want you guys touching the oven. We want your mom or your dad or your grown-up to help you. And they should get the oven heated up to 450 degrees because that's what's going to cook the biscuits. All right, now we've got our 2 cups of flour in here. Now we want to add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Perfect. Now we'll put that to the side. Now we just want to mix it up. So we'll take our fork and put it in here and just mix it up until it all gets nice and combined. And it doesn't take long actually, it only takes 20 or 30 seconds of mixing. Now here's the kind of tricky part. Is what you want to do is mix it up until everything combines, and then you want to make sure it's not too dry and it's not too sticky. So sometimes you need to add a little bit more cream, whipping cream, or a little bit more of the flour until you get it exactly where you want it. And what we've found is in making these is you want it as moist as you can get it to make the biscuits not too dry, but not so moist that it's sticky. And when it's just short of being sticky, and your parents can help you with this, then it's ready to go. So I'm gonna get in here with my hands. That's the fun part of this job. You wanna help, Noelle?
Yeah.
And we're just gonna mix it up till it feels right, and we'll show you what that looks like. So right now, I think it's still a little bit dry, don't you, Noelle?
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna add just a little bit more whipping cream, just about that much, and we'll mix that in. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit like playing with Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you want your hands nice and clean for this. This is why our assistants, Nia and Shui, are not helping with this part. Their paws are not as clean as one might like for making biscuits.
No.
How are we doing here? You want me to help a little?
Yeah.
So let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, it's starting to get really good. All right, we're gonna add just a little bit more of the whipping cream. I promise I'll show you guys what it looks like when you get it the consistency you want. We're gonna mix all that in together. And just a little bit more. This is the part that's kind of by touch. So really, it's a little bit more than 1 cup of whipping cream to 2 cups of flour. But it's best to do it gradually like this till you get it exactly the consistency you want. And we'll show you what it feels like and looks like in just a second. Almost there. A little more. It was on that night I killed a man. I did not try to hide it. The jury found me guilty and I don't disagree. Okay, I think we've just about got it where we want it. And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in just a second. Just finishing, got it all mixed up, and it's all coming together into one ball. And I'll show you. So, when you get it done, it should look more or less like this. See how it's all sticking together in one ball? And it's not so sticky and moist that it sticks to your fingers when you put them on. Show them, Noelle. But it's not so dry that it's crumbly and falling apart. Now we've got it exactly where we want it. So, what we want to do now is roll it out. We're going to move this aside. And now we want to go to our board we're going to use, and we're going to put just a little more flour on the board so it doesn't stick to the board. So Noelle, you want to grab a small handful and just spread it around on there. Perfect. So all we've got now is our board. We put a little flour on the board, just dry flour so it won't stick. And then we're gonna take our biscuit dough and put it on here. Okay guys, we adjusted the camera a little bit so you could see the board, and we're actually now baking on our knees, which is, oh well, it is what it is, but hopefully you can see better. So here's our little ball of what's going to be yummy biscuits. As you can see, here's our board that we put a little flour on. Now we're gonna take a rolling pin, and you can use any type your mom and dad have. We're gonna put a little flour on that so it doesn't stick. And I'll do that real quick. So all you do is just lightly put the flour on there. And then the fun part, we're just gonna roll it out. So I'll give it a start, and then Noelle can help. And we're just going to roll the biscuits out till we get them to the height that we want. Perfect. Noelle, you want to do some?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna stand up for mine.
All right. I'll show you how tall they're supposed to be when they're done. It's getting good. All right, let's even them up a little bit, and then I think we've got them exactly where we want them. Perfect. So, if you look at a grown-up finger, they're about the same height as my fingers, and I think that's about where you want them. Now we're almost done. Now what we're gonna do is take these guys, which we've got, but if you don't have them, you can use a cup, and we'll show you how to do that. And you can see they're all different sizes, so you can make different sized biscuits. And we're just gonna start stamping them out. So take one here, push it, give it a little twist, and there is one biscuit ready to be made. Noelle, you want to do a couple different sizes?
I like the little tiny ones. Those are my favorites.
All right. Perfect.
And then you have a little biscuit.
Now let's show them how to use a cup to do it in case their parents don't have these guys.
Okay.
So it's just a thin rim cup, and all you do is the same thing. Just press it down. Once you get it to the bottom, give it a little twist and pull it right out. There we go. And it doesn't want to come out. Just give it a little shake, and there it goes. There's a biscuit made from a cup. So you can do it any way you want. You want to use all the flour, obviously, so you want to keep making biscuits, stamping them out until you're done. And here's another one. And another one. And let's see, I bet we can get one right here. All right, now, I bet you're asking, well, what are you gonna do with all this flour that you got that was too small to make biscuits? Well, we're just gonna mush it all together again, make it into another clump. We're gonna pound it out to the same height as the other biscuits. And when we get it where we want it, stamp out another biscuit or two. There's another one. If you have a big family, obviously you can double the recipe and make twice as many biscuits as we're making. So that's just up to you guys and how many biscuit eaters you got. That guy. Now, when you get your last little bit of flour like that, then you just sort of mush it together and you make a fun, clumpy, homemade one, which will also taste yummy. So, now we got that guy. All right, now what are we gonna do? Now we're gonna put them on a baking tray and we're gonna stick them in the oven. And who's gonna help you with that?
Your parents.
Your parents, that's right. I don't want you guys reaching into a hot oven. So give us a break and we'll grab the baking pan and then we'll be right back to show you how to make yummy biscuits. All right guys, so we're back now and we have our biscuits that we made with our self-rising flour and our whipping cream. We rolled them out, we stamped them into biscuit shapes. Your mom and dad preheated the oven to 450 degrees. So all we gotta do now is take any old baking tray and put the biscuits on it, which my assistant / daughter Noelle is gonna do right now.
Okay.
And And I think it actually makes yummier biscuits and makes them sort of soft on the edges if you push them to where they're together. So let's slide them into one another in one big sort of clump like that. Perfect. Now, see how they're all kind of friends together? Now, that's all you're gonna do. Now we're ready. All we're gonna do now is stick them in the oven at 4 to 50 degrees and ask your mom or dad to help you with that. And we're gonna set a timer for 12 minutes and then we'll come back and check on them. So, we're gonna take a break and let these cook. Take a look at how tall they are right now and then we'll compare that to what they look like when they're done. And we'll see you guys in just a minute. Okay.
Okay, so while your biscuits are baking, my favorite part, the most fun part, is the part where you get to put whatever you want on them. You can make them completely customizable, whatever your favorite topping is, you can put on your biscuits, and it's so fun. I really like agave. My dad really likes syrup. My brothers and sisters love Nutella, or jam is what my mom likes, and peanut butter we all like. So it's really fun to just try lots of different things and find whatever you like on your biscuits.
And Noelle, what's the best thing to drink when you're having biscuits?
A big glass of milk.
A big glass of wholesome vitamin D milk. Yum! Okay. Okay guys, we're back. It actually ended up taking about 14 minutes, which is good. That's why you set it at 12 so you can peek in on them. You don't want to open the oven any more than you absolutely have to because that's going to hurt the biscuits rising. But we didn't. We just peeked through the window and at about 14 minutes they were done. Here they are. Noelle can show you one. See how they've risen up nice and tall. See how they're kind of lightly brown on the top. We like to put them in one of these, just a little bowl with a little kitchen towel or tea towel to help keep them warm. So Noelle's gonna do that. Plop them all in there. Again, what I'm holding is hot. I've got a pad to help me. You want your mom or your dad to help you with this. You do not want to be doing this on your own. So I'm gonna put this down somewhere safe. And then what we've got is a yummy bowl full of biscuits, which you can use this little towel and just keep them wrapped up and they'll kind of keep the steam in there and they'll stay nice and yummy until everybody eats them all, which usually doesn't take long in our family. Now, to show you the fruits of our labor, we're gonna make one. So Noelle, grab the one you want.
I'll do this one right
Awesome.
here.
All right, so let's get the kitchen knife and open it up.
You can just cut it right down the middle, and it should open up quite nicely. Just
Perfect.
pop right open.
Now, the favorite
You
ingredient.
can see all that steam coming off.
Oh yeah, you sure can.
Nice and steamy.
The favorite ingredient that we didn't talk to you about earlier, of course, is butter. That's the family fave. So we're gonna put some butter on both halves. Wonk, wonk. Doesn't take long to melt because these biscuits are nice and hot. Is it hurting your hand or are you okay?
No, I'm okay.
All right. All right, guys. That's it. That's how you put on whatever else you want on. We are sorry you guys can't make it down to Camp Ramsey this year. We're definitely looking forward to having you guys come down this year. In the meantime, be safe, have fun, and enjoy some yummy homemade biscuits. This is Chef Alexander Fields and Chef Alexander Noelle signing off on behalf of Camp Ramsey. Bye. We miss you guys.
Bye, guys.